Hello people of YouTube. First of all, happy Memorial Day weekend. I am Nico from Misery Productions, as you guys can probably tell. And you notice I am kind of going back to the old background change for my reviews, only just this one time, hopefully. And today I have a new kind of product that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys on the Misery Productions channel. And this is not a minifigure, it's not a set. I already told you guys I'm not going to be doing set reviews anymore. Today I have for you the X-39 Customs PlateLocker. Now, what is a PlateLocker is probably running through your question. Well, you see the PlateLocker itself in front of you, and you see the instructions on the left and the example one-sided brochure piece, which I just totally knocked over, on the right. Well, a PlateLocker is basically a 6x6 device. Don't mind that, that's a message on my iTouch. It's basically a 6x6 piece of rubber that is designed to, as you can probably tell on the image on the left, hold Lego base plates together. Now, as you can see there, that is 5 PlateLockers holding up 4 base plates, 2 green and 2 blue. Now you can see the example on the small brochure on the right. This device is probably the most helpful tool for holding your base plates together, keeping your diorama in one piece after having to dismantle it so many times. And the best way to keep a mock in one piece without having to always have unwanted bricks or plates cover up the gaps where the base plates would be. Instead of doing that, now you can work around it and rely on this little thing here to hold your base plate together and keep your mock in one. So, first things first, the price of this thing. You can get an entire pack of these on the X39customs.com website. Link to that will be in the description, but I already said the URL. You can get it on that website for $14.95, and you can get a pack of them. And you get 5 PlateLockers in one pack. I have 5 of these here. As you can see, 5 come in this package here. Now, pretty much that's like $3 per PlateLocker, and ideally it's a great piece. This is a US made product, entirely just strictly rubber, really. There's nothing else to it. It's very, very rough in texture, but it's also very sturdy and durable. I'll get to the durability in a minute. But anyways, that's how much you get in one pack, and that's how much it costs. Now, you may notice that my PlateLockers are different from the PlateLockers shown in each of the diorama examples on the left and the right. Well, I had mine custom made, custom dyed, if you will. As you can see, the ones in the images on the left and right are white. Mine are green. I custom request dyeing the PlateLockers green to blend in with the diorama. As you guys know, I'm doing a huge diorama on Yavin 4 for Bricks by the Bay. Well, I requested the PlateLockers to blend in with the base plates so it wouldn't stand out too much, since the tablecloths at the convention are probably going to be black, just like last year. So I wanted everything to blend in well together and make it look like everything was just fully great. And like I said, this device is the perfect device for those people who are always constantly on the move and are always taking dioramas down and resetting them up. And the ideal thing about these is, you know, like I said, they're very sturdy and they're very small. You can barely notice them. As you can see on the left, you can see how easy it is to disguise the PlateLockers under the base plates and how really thin it is. Now, as you can see here, you have the little instructional. It's one-sided. I already showed you guys that. And what's the instructions on it. The instructions are right here, and this is a double-sided brochure. Now, as you can see, you have all of the plate lockers in use, and you see all the copyrighted writing on the bottom here. Go to X39brickscustoms.com. Instructions on the inside, patent pending, X39 Customs LLC. That's the trademark, and those are the instructions on, well, actually those are the major key points on how to properly use your plate lockers. And if we look on the back here, that's the little instructional here. Sorry for the massive glare, but there is the instructions on the back. You can hardly tell because of how far it is, but see here, to secure multiple plate lockers together from the plates upside down and side by side, span the plate lockers, blah 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 blah. I already know how to span these. In case you guys are not good readers, or really just don't want to read, here is a example of how the plate lockers should be used, in case you didn't see the example already in the front. That is the primary reason why Clone Trooper X-39 or Peyton Dean insists on buying the entire pack of plate lockers and putting 5 in there. You can see here at the bottom, plate locker location, optional plate locker location for the faded out image in the corner and the darkened square at the bottom. All of these areas where the dark squares are at are the mandatory plate locations suggested by Peyton to put the plate lockers, and all of the faded out squares are the locations that it is optional to put a plate locker. Now, that is pretty much it for the instructions. A very, very useful product by example off of the instructions. Now, what is my take on them? They are a very, very efficient product. I have put a lot of these in my Yavin 4 mock so far. Now, let me just show you how durable these things are by human strength. You can see here it's very, very rough here. You can see the back here is just a very, very rough surface. It's not exactly sandpaper rough, but it's not exactly like soft like a pillow. The inscription here on the back, you can see PlateLocker X-39 Customs.com, made in the US, patent pending. And you can see here is not easily tearable. Not terrible as in like the bad, but terrible as in you can't rip it apart. Now, of course, I don't have a strongman, you know, somebody who is like a bodybuilder to try to rip this thing apart, but it is very, very strong by human standards. Now, of course, the best example to use, which I'll be getting to in a moment, is having this used on an actual base plate. So, let's get down to that example, and let's just show you what you can do with that. Alright guys, so here we are. I'm about to do the example of how the plate lockers are supposed to be used. You've already seen the example given on the plate locker instructional pamphlet here. I apologize for the very, very bad light glare. And you saw the little diorama of how the plate locker is supposed to be used on the back of that pamphlet. Well, I'm about to show you what it is by actually putting on the plate lockers myself. So as you can see here, I have a plate locker. Now, like I said, this is actually not a 6x6. I said 6x6 earlier. This is a 8x8 plate locker. And basically like how you would put on a regular 8x8 plate on the front side of a base plate, you're going to do that to the back side of a base plate. Now, of course, obviously, this is not color coordinated. This is a green plate locker compared to the base plates I have in front of me, since these were the only ones expendable. They are blue plate lockers. Now, I'm actually going to adjust this so you can see the top. This is probably the most efficient way to do it. So, now like I said again, you can have these custom dyed to any color that you want, but of course that is going to be an additional dye fee The die fee itself is about like $30, so what I would request doing is buying more than just one plate locker pack, because if you buy one plate locker pack and it's custom dyed, then really it's going to be a waste, because you're paying more for the dye than you're paying for the actual product. So I would suggest, if you're going to dye the plate lockers just like how I have, do it, buy multiple packs instead of just buying just one. If you're just going to buy just one pack, like if you're going to have a really small mock, then just keep it the plain white pasted way. So here it is. You just need to gently press it on right here on the back, and there you go. Now, like I said, I'm posting it on the mandatory parts of the plate locker, so let's move down. That's the first mandatory spot. Now let's get down to the second mandatory spot, which is at the very bottom. I said this would be the most challenging, and I'm right. So here we are. I'm gonna have to cut out the video just so I can get an accurate depiction of this. Alright guys, I told you I'd have to cut the video out just so I could get the other plate locker into place. Now see, these are how the plate lockers are supposed to look when you actually added on the mandatory spaces on the pamphlet here, as you can see. Now of course, if you wanted to add it to the optional spots, you would add the other two to the corners of the base plate, and of course you would probably have one extra if you ordered only one pack. If you only did a small 2 base plate mock like this, you would probably only need like 6 plate lockers, so you would order 2 packs of them. And like I said a couple of seconds ago, you can make them any color you want. So if you're going to do 2 base plate mock on blue base plates, you might want to order 2 packs of blue plate lockers, and you know, it'll blend in better instead of having the white show. I mean, really, that's your call if you want to actually dye it. If you're not going too many places or you really don't care about that, having the regular white plate lockers are exceptional as well. And now let me just show you how easy it is, or how hard it is, to bring these two apart. Now, if you add on the plate lockers correctly, you will receive great results. Now, I am actually tugging here. See, let me just show you guys the actual strength of me right here. And this is just me slowly pulling it. It's not moving at all, which is a really great effect. So if you just accidentally knock into the base plates or knock into the mock, you will just move the whole entire diorama. You won't move just the base plate, or you won't really screw anything up. Now let me apply full force. As you can see, okay, if you apply full force, it's not gonna actually stick here. But that's actually if you try to pull the base plate apart. It will come off, because like I said, this is rubber, and you know, base plates aren't exactly the hardest or stickiest material, especially the bottom areas there. So the rubber studs on the plate locker will slip out every once in a while if you apply full strength and actually intentionally try to pull the plate lockers away from the base plates. But as far as just simple maintaining of the actual base plate without, you know, if you move it accidentally, it won't do much. However, if you try to apply a lot of pressure, then of course it will be forced to move, and it will you will achieve great results in ripping it apart. Sorry for that interruption. But overall, it's a very, very great product. For those of you who are constantly on the move, it's the best product you could possibly use to dismantle your mocks. Now, let me just disassemble everything. Alright guys, so we have come to the end of the review. You've seen the demonstration. You've seen pretty much every aspect of the plate locker that I can show you. We're going to get down to my final thoughts on this. And what my final thoughts are on this product, it is absolutely an amazing product. The best product that you can have if you're a constant mover as far as mock building. If you're always going to conventions, or if you're always moving mocks around and displaying them at different multiple events, this is the best product for you. As we saw in the demonstration, if you just simply let it stay there, or if you just simply knock it over, the plate lockers won't budge if applied correctly. However, if you, of course, try to actually rip the two base plates apart, or rip however many base plates apart, of course it's going to come off. This is made of rubber, for God's sakes, and it's not exactly the sturdiest material. It's not meant to keep the base plates together like glue, but it's meant to stabilize it for a little while. It's not meant to keep it together forever. So my overall rating on this product is a 5 out of 5. It is definitely the best product for mock builders who are always moving and pretty much going to conventions and reassembling, disassembling mocks. It adds more pieces to your arsenal of making better landscapes, so you won't always have to work around that base plate gap, and it'll give you a better opportunity to give great cover-ups if you're using different colored plates. And of course, if you want to dye these a different color to match your landscape or your mock, by all means request it from Peyton. Of course, you can't actually give that option when you buy the product, but you have to email him requesting that. Either way, it's still a great investment. So that is my final words on this product. I'll have all of the information, all the links to where you can buy this great product in the description, and I will see you guys in the next product review, which will hopefully be a Minifix for You or RC custom review. That or a weekly update. So thanks again for watching. Happy Memorial Day. Sorry this review came late, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.